allow me to know if a truly allow enjoy like a sun this bung me what. Hey, welcome into the Kesia Joe show. We're live right here at the Filter Coffee Parlor. Guess what? We came in a new time today.
Oh, yeah.
But you know something?
Good point.
But guess what? When you own your own show and things happen, you can do your show. But guess what? We still here, y'all. I know y'all expected us about an hour earlier, but you know, we had some technical things that happened. But we stuck it in. We could have just canceled.
We could have.
We could have canceled.
We could have.
But like it in media, we don't do that.
No, we don't.
And so we decided no matter what, we're going to make the show happen. So, hey, y'all. And for y'all that didn't miss the show, y'all come on back and catch the rest of the show. So how you doing this morning, Keith?
I'm doing super fantastic. I have no complaints.
None whatsoever?
None.
You looking radiant.
Thank you.
And you brought me my oil. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Y'all, everybody, America, I already know where I'm finna go with this. Nephew. Everybody know where I'm finna go with this oil, right? This oil that she brought me.
Put it on.
That's scary now. That's scary in this Diddy society.
Put it on. Oh God.
She just caught this, right? But if I put this oil on and I started, you know, are you sure this oil is okay? Because you know this thing is going on lately. Okay, that got this.
We're not gonna be investigating you for any.
This is your oil.
No, you're stuck.
Y'all see here. Hey, y'all see this. Hey, it's live. Hey, hold on.
I don't keep any excess bottles. I only do these by request.
Nephew, look. I'm putting it all on. Now, nephew, if I start acting funny later on or I'm passed out, I'm just saying, America. Welcome into the Kesia Joe show. How y'all doing this? Welcome into the
flying that I'm going to do something to that oil. You've used it before and you've had no problem.
But you made a new batch now.
I did. I made a new batch. I'm talking about that's fresh too.
Yes.
That was made this
morning.
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
Look at that. Ooh, took the ash right off my hands.
It did.
How y'all doing this morning? So you doing good?
I'm doing so good. I have no complaints.
Are you ready for Thanksgiving next week?
So, Joe, that's a great question because one of the things, and you and I have talked about this, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm really going all in with vegan. So, you know, on Thanksgiving.
How are you going to do a vegan?
Oh, we got.
Listen, even though we started late, our people still bring us our coffee this morning. I appreciate you. Thank you. Listen, this is the bum coffee I need because I am starving right now because I haven't eaten this morning.
I think both of us are a little hungry, aren't we, this morning? Oh my gosh, and they have the little swirl on top. You all can't see that. They got the little swirl on top.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And
it's so nice.
Salted butterscotch, only made here, only at Filter Coffee Parlor. If you're on the south side, you have to stop by. And I'm looking at the folks who are here stopping
not
by.
Just this one here, but they got the pumpkin salt, the pumpkin coffee, the cinnamon roll coffee.
They've got some fall favorites. And in addition to that, too, if you want like some snacks, they have scones, they have cinnamon rolls, they have cake, they have muffins, and different sorts of drinks and different things like that. Hi.
Hey, could you guys come in and lock it in with me and Kesia?
Yes. Come on in and lock it in. Hi. How are you? We're just speaking. Hi, everybody.
Hey, how's it going? But you're looking so radiant this morning. Like everybody's just smiling at you and everything. Maybe it's the natural hair.
Maybe it's the natural hair, or maybe it's just the happy I have going on right now.
But have you noticed, America? I want to say this to you ladies, though. Happiness attracts happiness,
doesn't it?
If you are like, people always say, Joe, you're so happy.
Yeah.
But when you are happy, guess what people are around you?
Happy.
Most of the time, I'm going to say 94% of the time, if I have a really good attitude towards people, they have a great attitude towards me.
Yes.
I don't wait for people to give me their attitude. I give them mine. Ooh, that's a bar right there.
That is.
Nephew, that's a bar.
Yeah.
I don't wait for you to give me your attitude. I give you mine.
Proactive happy.
Yeah.
I don't wait for you to give me your happy. I give you mine. That's proactive.
So how do you think this show is going so far? You liking it? You like hanging out with your boy once a week?
I do. I like
just once a week is enough, right?
I didn't say that. You know, he likes to entrap me in these sorts of things.
So once a week is enough to hang out with your boy,
I didn't say that.
But it shows.
I didn't. Oh.
But it shows. Once a week is enough.
No.
Hey, before we get into the show, I want to ask you this question. Did you get a chance to see the Lisa Ray Carlos interview? Oh my God. Y'all need to check out. It's on YouTube.
What's it about?
Lisa Ray is going in deep about some stuff when she was married, her friends, the industry.
This is not unusual for Lisa Ray, though.
But this time she went in depth.
She went in depth.
You know Nicole Murphy.
I do. Oh yeah, they had a little thing.
I know why though.
Why? I'm listening.
Nicole Murphy slept with her husband.
Yeah.
While they were married.
Yeah. That's the rumor.
No, that ain't the rumor. She
said she put it out there.
Yeah, and that's why Michael Strahan.
Did you all know that?
And that's why Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
She told Michael Strahan showed him video or some stuff, and that's why they was no longer together. I thought because something Michael Strahan did. It was Nicole Murphy.
Is Nicole Murphy also the one? You know, she has quite the reputation because is she also the one who was seen kissing the producer Antoine Fuqua?
Yeah.
Who is the husband of Layla Rashawn? Rashawn, who is Sunshine in Harlem Nights, and also was the beautiful woman in oh gosh, what was Eddie Murphy's movie Boomerang?
But I gotta ask you this question though.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all in our chat right now, y'all locked into your favorite digital morning show, the Kesia Joe show.
Hi. Yeah, I'm listening.
Why does a woman has so much that's beautiful as Nicole Murphy? Why is she picking up on other people,
sleeping around on other people's men?
She can pretty much pull anybody she wants. She got the money. She got the name. Rick, what is that about?
You may not like me saying this,
I'm asking,
and you all may disagree. But
I'm asking for a woman's perspective.
She's absolutely gorgeous. So when a woman who's absolutely gorgeous and who should and could pull on her own just by her beauty factor, her wow factor, right? You let me tell it, in my opinion.
Please do.
Damaged goods.
Meaning what?
I don't know that Nicole has recovered from her breakup with Eddie Murphy. When you find a woman who is pursuing, because again, I'm mentioning her in these circles with Antoine Fuqua, who has not divorced his wife, who was shown kissing Nicole Murphy, okay? But Layla Rashawn Fuqua has said, I'm standing by my man. I'm not going anywhere. And I don't blame her. But when you find that...
Oh, you don't blame her?
No, I don't.
You would stay with your man?
I would stay. She has to do nothing. I definitely would stay. She has to do nothing in that case.
Y'all chat. If your man,
you all agree?
If your man, you've seen your man, kissed over with Nicole Murphy, right? And you saw the picture. Are you staying with him or you leaving? He didn't hit.
I'm sure, but that's her. I might with him. We're not talking about. I know I'm flopping. I'm flopping.
No. I'm not going to take you for it.
I'm flopping. So let me tell you the consideration.
Okay. This is changing right before our eyes right now, right? Go ahead.
Let me tell you the consideration, friend. So the consideration is,
okay,
this guy is a top Hollywood producer. He can help the rise and fall of different people's careers.
True.
Layla Rashawn has an in-house, what do you call it? Production company.
Okay.
It's no might. He'd get more grace from me. They've got 2 kids together. She can work if she wants to work. She can sit home if she wants to sit home. Layla Rashawn has jump-started. Hi. His filter coffee parlor is like popping on and popping today. And I think Joe was just trying to flirt with somebody.
No, she's married. I met Amy earlier today. She's married. She's gonna be watching the show. She's gonna be a new follower.
Oh, that's
I
sweet.
met her earlier today. So don't do that.
Okay, don't do that.
Yeah, she's married. I checked.
And clearly, what does that have to do with anything? Oh, okay. Get that straight. But yeah, so Layla Rashawn, I definitely would consider it. And I want to tell you something. There are some women who are ride or die chicks, and apparently she's a ride or die chick. All I need to do is
get a little bit more money.
Yeah.
And there are women, if I can go there, then she may give me grace. But if I'm
absolutely
broke,
absolutely. If you're broke, you can forget it.
Wow.
You can forget. I mean, what am I staying for? You feel me? Nephew's like, yep. Nephew's feeling the logic. Okay, even if you
ain't
disagree.
Nobody ask him.
But
ain't nobody ask him today.
Don't do my friend like that.
No, ain't nobody asking.
Don't do my friend like that.
He's in another zone right now.
That's okay. That's all right. He's allowed to. But y'all, am I out here by myself, ladies and gentlemen? What do you
Yes.
say to that? Joe says no way. We know that Antoine Fuqua, who is a
That's your
Hollywood
husband.
producer, huh?
That's your husband, though.
Yeah, there are lots more who have done it though who haven't gotten caught. So
But
yes, I will give him a little
understand, but
grace.
what I'm saying is, knowing you
Put my
and the
little shirt up.
standards of your girls are hanging out there, don't worry
Yeah,
about
my
it.
girls are trying
okay.
to hang out here, not really intentionally.
Okay, but knowing you,
yeah,
you're saying because of his
Yes.
status and who he
yes, I am unapologetically saying that because of his status, because of who he is. Yeah, it'd be a strong
and I'm gonna say this.
consideration.
I'm gonna look into the mic.
You
and
can look
this
into the
and
camera.
this is why
I'm not
men
backing
cheat.
down.
This is why men that got money cheat on you because they know 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10 you probably gonna stay anyway.
Layla Rashawn has the receipts.
Okay.
So the Joker can go out there and he can do whatever he wants. If he stays, she's still taken care of. If he goes or if something happens while he's out there, she's still taken care of. Some people now, some women will say, "We're gonna." You see him speaking to all these.
I'm speaking to the ladies. You keep doing the show, man. Let me speak.
Speaking up to all the ladies today. Go ahead. I like it.
Wait a minute. When these men
I
be
like
walking
it.
by and she be sitting here, y'all,
I do.
she be like, wait a minute. I don't know if I should get up and go let you do the show and say, hey. But because I see beautiful women, I say hello to women. It's a problem.
Joe? No,
ma'am. Man, sis, I don't have.
You don't.
I don't have. And listen, and look, it's not even no tan on my.
Do you? Boo?
I've been divorced so long, my skin color then came back.
It's come back in again. Do you, boo? You speak to as many as you want. You're absolutely right.
You know you've been divorced for a long time when you ain't got no. When the skin. Hey, my hand look like a regular hand now. So I want to ask you.
Yes, I'm listening. Go ahead.
I want to ask this question to America. If y'all are not yet, welcome into the Kesia Joe show. We're live right here at the Filter Coffee Parlor, having a great show this morning. Our nephew's in the building, but he looks a little perplexed. You okay, the nephew? Leave me alone.
I'm zoning. Y'all go ahead, cook.
My sugar woogie. That's my sugar woogie.
It's okay, bro. Everything is good. We're gonna eat. We gonna eat today.
In fact, I think it was a boost to the. You know how you do certain things and it's a boost to the economy. I think it was a boost to our viewership because more people tuned in when we got on this morning at that time.
They was waiting on us.
Okay, that's what it is. Or maybe that's the kid. Y'all are on too daggone
we
early.
may need to go in on. We could start the show at 11.
We
11
may
to 12.
need to actually because they were like they were on here. So but and I know they kind of go in and out. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so today's show, I want to get into this, y'all. It's the holidays coming up, sis.
Yeah.
You're newly divorced. You put that out there and say it, so I can say that now.
You can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm long time divorced. I got to ask y'all in the chats on social media, on the digital airways, or like it in the media. Sis, I'm gonna ask you first because you're newly divorced.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Thanksgiving coming up, right? What are you doing being newly divorced, right? For the holidays, are you gonna sit home and look at Thanksgiving movies, you and your dog? Are you going to go hang out with family? Are you going to miss the environment of,
being in a relationship,
being with your husband and going to see family? Are you going to feel awkward when family comes and you're by yourself now and everybody, we they give you that talk, they look at you kind of funny, you know what I'm saying? So what are you going to do and how does that feel right now?
So this is so good. Such a good question. I really have already started sort of and Joe, you want to know what I'm working on?
Sure.
I'm working on my post-breakup book.
Post-breakup book. Okay.
Yeah. How to divorce, how to break up and do it differently. Okay. Because so to answer your question, I will spend time with friends and family. I've already done that. My brother, a couple of weeks ago, he had a gathering at his house. We went over there and watched LSU game. I'm 52, so I can't hang out like I used to back in the day, hanging out till 12 and 1 a.m. Well, let me change that. If I had a really good reason, perhaps I could. And y'all are on this morning. Can you all speak to us and let us know where you're joining us from while we talk? I'd love for you to let us know where you're joining us from. But yes, being newly divorced, it's just more of a focus on my family and friends. I'm always the person I have like different social groups. So I may go hang out with my brother where I stay now. Believe it or not, like they're getting ready to have an Iron Bowl watch party. So they have a little list at where I stay. You shaking your head, nephew? And they have a little list, and they're saying who wants to do the Iron Bowl watch party. So that's me. I go to
Okay.
games in my building. You know, they have game night and different things like that. So when I'm at my highest and best, I'm always going to have different friend groups. So I've got my family group my family thing I do. I've got this particular group. I host a small group, a healing conversations prayer group every Saturday morning. So we're on at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. So there's that group. So, you, me, nephew, sometimes we do some things together,
Right.
as a unit. Normally we go after whatever. So Joe, I enjoy life. And coming up, in the next 6 months, I'm going to get back out traveling again. So just enjoy life. So, but here's the thing. I'm very honest in saying I do miss the whole relationship thing. I miss the spending time with that special person and planning the dinners and all of that. But the only issue is, toward the end of the marriage, we weren't, in sync with that. So it just feels like, even though we were separated a year, but before that, it was out of sync for a little while.
Mhm.
So it's been a little bit while, but I'm a relationship person. I like spending time together. I don't believe in crowding people because I love my freedom. I want to give, and I'm going to give my significant other their freedom as well. But I'm a relationship person, and I miss that. I miss cooking, for my husband. I miss cooking for my family and having those family gatherings. So I miss all of that. So, and nephew said it last week pertaining to something I said. Two things can be true at once. So although I love, no green grass grows under my feet, meaning I'm not going to sit and mope. We're 52. Life is passing us by. I don't mean it that way, but life continues to move. The sun shines another day. I just refuse to mope. I refuse to be in regret over what has happened. What I
Right.
can do, I can learn my lessons
Okay.
and be better. But
Okay.
did I answer your question?
Yes, because I was really wondering because a lot of times when people say I'm going through a divorce,
Sorry.
and for the first time,
Sorry, nephew.
but you really think about, especially when you're over 40 and over 50, right? The divorce is sad for some people. Some people it's good, but when the holiday comes, it does bring on a different feeling.
It does.
And when you get a divorce right around the holidays,
yeah,
that first holiday by yourself,
yeah,
or that first birthday by yourself, right? It hits different. Whether it was a good marriage or a bad marriage, I don't care what anybody says, it's going to hit you a little bit different,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
And so, my question to everybody that's watching the show right there on Digital Airways or Locking In Media, I want to ask you guys this question here: is if you're single, if you done went through a divorce, right? First, if you've been single for a while and been divorced for a while, what did you do in the beginning? When you were single for the holidays, what was your first thing you did? Was you with somebody, or were you alone? And if you're going through something right now, right? Are you going to try to fix it through the holidays and hoping the holidays going to make it better? Or are you just going to kind of like sit this one out and plan and get rid of divorce for the following year going to 2025? Nephew.
Got a question.
Sure.
Does it matter what holiday it is
No.
that's coming around? Do you get that feeling on any holiday that come around?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the person, what it means to them, though. Because Thanksgiving, I think, and Christmas probably are holidays that are significant for family.
Family,
right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it affects the man as much as it affects the woman.
Yeah. It could affect the woman more.
Christmas would affect the dude, I think, because Christmas is that Christmas, birthday celebrations, and I guess maybe Thanksgiving's or New Year's.
Yeah.
I think those are affected.
Christmas affected me more because the people that hung around on Christmas were so special to me. I have this one young lady that I still love to this day. She still's like, she's my older girlfriend. I call her Mama Janie.
Mm-hmm.
That's my baby.
Mm-hmm.
She took care of me, and when I was married, love her to death.
Yeah.
I miss having Christmas with her because every Christmas we would go there, open up Christmas presents, and she would cook breakfast for us, right? And that was something like, and it was my son's grandmother. That was his grandmother, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his dad would be there. I would be there.
Mm-hmm.
My wife at the time would be there, right? And we were
Mhm.
all, and he would bring his girlfriend with him, right? So we would all open up Christmas presents there on the morning,
Nice.
and
That's
we
nice.
hung up. We would eat
That's
breakfast,
nice. That's nice.
wash what they would go in there with the laser, go in there and wash the dishes. The kids were playing whatever the toys they had. Me and we watching TV, watching football games. So we there the whole day.
Yeah.
Right?
That's dope.
Right. We
That's
was there
dope.
like that. We was
That's
there the whole
dope.
day. And then we eat dinner together, right? They prepared it
Yeah.
and we was there for dinner. So when we went to her house, we didn't leave that day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss her. I
Yeah.
miss that what she brought. They taught me how to have Christmas.
Mm.
Let me say that. And I'm gonna give her credit for that.
Mhm.
She taught me the true meaning out of all my years I've had Christmas, right?
Mhm.
I felt like I was family when that really wasn't my family, but I became part of their family.
Yeah.
When she opened up that door,
Yeah.
it changed me. It made me look at life so much different. Like, you don't have to be blood to be family. You just have to love somebody, right? And people can make you feel like family, even though that you didn't grow up with them. And how crazy would it be that you're spending Christmas at your son's, which was my stepson, but I call him my son, grandmama house with his dad,
His dad.
my wife, which is his baby mama,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, if you're
And
getting into
his
semantics,
girlfriend
it
is-
sounds away if you get into semantics, but that's dope.
But that's
because
what it was, though,
That's just family.
right? And we
That's
all
dope.
sitting there. We got pictures with all us being together,
That's dope.
right? Everybody's, doing what we did, right?
That's dope.
And just to watch that and have that, right? Now, I would say I miss that. That part of that Christmas,
You
I haven't
missed
had,
it.
and I'm gonna say this,
Yeah.
and this is no knock. This is the honest guy. I haven't had it since.
Mm.
Since I've been divorced,
Yeah.
I haven't had that feeling for Christmas like that anymore. So, maybe one day I get that back again. But that is something that was built, and it may have been just a season for me. But I got a chance to see Christmas for what it truly was.
Yeah.
I may not be able to do Christmas for you, but you need to come over for me and my dad's New Year's that they do every morning. Oh my god, the beginning of New Year's, I may not be able to get to him on the Christmas day.
Yeah.
I'll be with mama on that day.
Yeah.
New Year's shuts down. That's my favorite part. Christmas is cool
Yeah.
because you're giving everybody the stuff. It's like, but the New Year's of me, that's what I look
Now,
forward
one
to
thing
on
I can
that
say
trip.
about nephew's family, they have adopted me.
Yes.
I'm
love
Uncle Joe now.
Your Uncle Joe.
Oh yeah, he already in.
There
Yeah.
you go.
On
Yeah,
both sides.
Yeah, yeah.
On both
Yeah.
sides.
I have a blended family now. Like his mama, his daddy, his
beautiful.
grandmama, his
Yeah.
uncles. I am family.
That's
Wherever
beautiful.
whatever I need when it comes to food and
That's
they cooking,
beautiful.
I got a plate.
That's
So,
beautiful.
but yeah, I think and me being divorced. To get back to the question here, I went off on a tangent there.
Mhm.
I think for the holidays, if anybody's chiming in on the social media, let me know. We can, and I read their comments out if they're doing it.
Yeah, I can read out Miss Tony, but
Hey Tony,
Michelle on YouTube,
Hey,
she
Michelle.
said that she's clocking in from work over there in Homewood. Shout out Homewood, Queen City. Tony, Tony mentioned no need to be alone or lonely, no matter what the day. Family
Yeah, I
and
think Tony sent me
friends
a message.
are
Come on up there.
always an option.
Hey, hit the
Hey,
road. Hit
so
the
good
road,
looking.
Jack.
Let me go see Tony.
Tony also put you have to adjust to the holidays. The first, quote unquote, are different and are difficult. If you want to be in a relationship, you typically will miss being with the person,
Yeah.
but you can still be happy and enjoy. Everybody else is saying good afternoon. Shout out to Milton. Shout out to Nikosha.
Kiara. Hey, Kiara.
Shout out to her. My bad if I mispronounce your name. And then Miss Tony said, "Hey, loves."
Hey baby, how you doing?
So and they're tuning in. So maybe we need to start a little later. I don't know. They're on. They're joining us for the lunch hour.
Maybe an
today.
anomaly.
Maybe.
Hey, things like I said, God things. Look at God. Things happen for a reason.
Things happen for a reason. So this
Start at
is
11 o'clock
this is
instead of
such
10
good-
now.
This is such good conversation.
Right.
you know? Joe, because let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I have found, and I'm curious to see what you all think about this too, you
Sure.
and nephew. So many people have tried to give me have tried to weigh in. And the reason that I'm getting ready to really write something about my experience and helping people, because I don't believe my experience has to be like anyone else's experience. So many people are trying to tell me, and I'm sorry, y'all, sinus stuff, so my nose is running a little bit. But so many people have tried to tell me how to experience, this post-divorce era. So I've had on 3 separate occasions people, and they mean well, but men don't do this. Thank you, love. Thank you, my love. Men don't do this,
No.
but women have tried to tell me on 3 separate occasions, "Oh, you're just gonna feel terrible." Oh, it's just gonna be the worst thing.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
and-
What the hell is this?
because
Whoa.
because I want you to know that's how dramatic it is. That's how
Wait
it
a
comes
minute.
across.
Wait. Whoa. It's gonna
It's
be
just
okay.
gonna be horrible. You're gonna. What did one person tell me? And she meant no harm. What did
Right,
she
right.
say? She said, "You're healing." So it's just like you are now, a piece of your heart will forever be broken. One of your limbs will forever be gone. It's an
Oh
analogy.
my
And
God.
I stopped them and I said, "Listen," I said, "I know you mean well." I said, "But I may be a little different or something." I said, "But I'm sorry." I said, "I don't feel any of that." I said, "No disrespect to the person who was my person. Perhaps I went through that grief and whatever while I was in the marriage and it was
Right.
coming to an end. But Joe, honest, straight up to goodness, you're with me.
Okay.
Once a week, but
Yeah, yeah.
we talk,
But
whatever.
we talk off.
Have
Yeah.
you seen me like hanging off the side, like, Joe, I don't know what I'm gonna do? Have you seen that part of my personality? Be
Honestly,
honest. Be honest.
Okay. No, I'm no. To answer that question, no,
Mhm.
not at all. Not
Okay.
even when you was going through it.
Yeah.
I think when you did reveal what was happening,
Mhm.
you were in repair or flight mode, right? It was teetering
Yeah.
because there was a part of you, I believe, and I could be wrong,
Yeah.
that if there was a chance,
Yeah.
and it was presented the right way, that I
Yes.
think you probably would have,
Entertain it.
entertained it.
Absolutely.
But you was also prepared that if that didn't happen, that you was going to do what you had to go do.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. Spot
now,
on.
oh, okay, so
Spot on.
So what I saw in you was a determination to make sure that you was going to be okay either way, for yourself. And the other thing that I saw, you protected people around you because you didn't want anybody to get caught up in whatever may have been going on during your time. You just going through some stuff, right? And I think you handled that with grace.
Thank you.
I think you handled that with a lot of dignity. And a lot of people didn't know the smiling face that they saw every Wednesday morning, right? Or at the meetings or at the council meetings and stuff like that. What you was really going through behind closed doors and behind, when you was alone.
Nah.
Kiara says she
Me,
said it took me a minute.
I didn't until
You
I
didn't
only.
know?
Well, I don't ask about folks' personal business.
Yeah.
Now I got a hint of it, but then at that point, I only saw or got the real gist of it when I saw the transition to closure. That'd be what for me. I saw when the closure happened. Then Miss Kesia was glowing, and you knew something was different from
Right.
the other
Wow.
days beforehand
Wow.
Yeah.
because now she's walking and she moving her manual, all these other
The
stuff.
clothes changed.
Yeah, and
The
now
clothes did change,
you
though.
getting a different side, like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
wearing a dress down.
Yeah.
like you saw a different
I'ma
side to
say this.
Keisa
She
and a
didn't look
different
so
energy.
married. So she didn't look married, so much married.
No.
Oh
One day
yeah,
when
now she
walked
looks
through the door,
single.
You know what I'm saying?
She looks single.
One day she walked through that door. She didn't look married no more. you know, I don't know what that was, but it was something about you when you walked through that door. It was like
I can't put my finger on it.
hands on it. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Sherlock. Hey, Sherlock. Sherlock, he said he was checking in. That's Milton Hubbard.
Hey, what's
Checking
going on,
in.
Sherlock?
Hey, Sherlock. Yeah, we're going to have an interview coming up with him for next week. So stay tuned to that. Listen, I and so astute with both of you with what you saw. So yeah, I mean, I miss because I'm all about love. I'm not I'm very honest with myself. And I was reading something. I'm constantly reading on relationships and everything. And one thing I will not do is I will not lie to myself. So I know I'm all about relationships. I'm all about love. Just because it didn't work for me, I'm not down on love or just angry. And this person, he may go on to the next person and he may have a wonderful experience with that person. That may be his person. I just may not have been it.
Right.
But I've just determined to shore up what I can. I've determined to mature in the areas in which I can. And I know people mean well, but I don't have the sorrow. I don't have the regret. It's only been a couple of months. I don't have the anger. I don't have the depression. I don't have the grief affiliated with it. I think I went through that stage already. And like I said, that was partially while I was in the marriage. I grieved because I saw, oh, this is bad, So aside from this person turning it around, and I gave grace, and I really didn't communicate that with you. You just kind of probably saw that, but I gave grace in case they wanted to change. So maybe the peace comes from me and the fact that I walk in forgiveness. I believe in that. But I also know I left the door open in case there was going to be some change, or to see if we could still get back on good footing again. It did not happen. I might as well go on. 52. I don't have another 5 years to try to figure it out. I don't have another 7 years to try to get over the hurt. Nope. I believe now I'm Christian here. Okay. Bible thumper is what Joe calls me. I believe by the stripes of Jesus, I'm healed. I believe that covers my heart. I'm moving on. I cannot go back and unscramble eggs. Pastor Michael D. Moore would always say that. I can't unscramble eggs. I can't go back and wish it didn't happen. That is over with. That's my past. And I'm going to move forward to whatever he has for me. And again, I believe in love. So I leave the door open for a wonderful relationship, whether it's in marriage or I don't know, whether I just have a great life partner. But I believe I'm a wife, though.
Okay.
Why are you looking like that? You change. You're about to say something different. You changed.
I'm going because this is your journey. This is your story, right? And it's still being written as we speak.
Absolutely.
Right. So there are people that are going through what you went through. And there are some people watching this show right now. Hopefully that it helps. And we're having a conversation about 40 over 50 right here on the Kesia Joe show, live at the Filter Coffee Parlor. When you're going through these things, you don't know what's the right thing or the wrong thing because you never got into it to get here. No one gets married to get divorced.
Absolutely.
And so there's not a wrong and right answer on how you do it or who you tell or what you are feeling, right? Because when you got married, you figured that was forever.
Yes.
And when it starts to fall apart, there's an embarrassment.
Yes.
There's a period of you checking and looking at yourself and like, did I do this too soon? What did I miss?
Yes.
How do we get here?
Yes.
But this is one thing I must say, and I've said this before. Sometimes, sis, and I think a lot of time more than not, we get married for the person we like, but we're not in love with. We love them, but we're not in love with the person that we're marrying. Hear what I say? You love that person, but you're not in love with them. Sometimes a man can pop a question to you and you love him.
Yeah.
Right. But you ain't quite fell in love with him. But since he didn't pop the question and he's the one that's there and everything seemed right. Yeah. Right. You'll go ahead and marry that guy. And a lot of y'all ain't gonna tell the truth about this stuff. What I'm saying is, but I'm telling you, right?
I'm tracking with you.
I'm gonna say more than not, most women are getting married, right? Due to the fact that they love this guy, but they're not in love with him. And the guy is getting married to you because time done passed. He loves you, but he's not in love with you, but he don't want to lose you. So neither one of y'all, when y'all getting married, y'all want to say this BS, but it's BS.
Yeah.
You're not in love with each other during that time that you're putting that ring on the finger.
Yeah.
And once you put that ring on the finger, now it done got real.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're looking for something different, but you was never in love with each other.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now that love turns into wait a minute. What did I just do?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You agree?
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? So
I agree.
A lot of folks don't get that part, right? That you can say I love you, but when you get married, you don't never hear people say too much, I'm in love with you. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
There's a huge difference.
That's
And
good.
here's the other part, right?
Mm.
When I got a divorce, I had to understand that there's a difference between I'm lonely and I'm alone, right?
Yeah.
I'm alone, but I'm not lonely,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So these are things that people have to understand when you're married and when you're divorced, because some people will suck you into, well, y'all was married, y'all loved each other, but nobody said y'all was in love with each other.
That's
and I would
good.
tell people, honestly,
That's good.
on this note that we're talking about here on the Kesia Joe Show this morning, are you in love with your mate? Truthfully in love, like your child, unconditionally. Because if you love somebody, you can walk away. I can walk away from somebody I love.
That's right. That's right.
It's a different feeling when I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say names or even the situation. I'm going to say I've been in love maybe once in my life. And I didn't know at the time that that's what that was.
Yeah.
But I was in love once in my life. Everybody else I loved. Very true. And I didn't know the difference. Because when I said I love you,
that's kind of scary, because when a guy is in love, we don't, as a woman looking at it from this side, I don't think we get that I don't think that happens too often with guys.
It does not.
I don't think it happens too often.
Because I'm going to tell you, for most men, this is a true statement, y'all. Most men know how to protect and lead.
Yeah.
We don't know the damn thing about love.
Yeah.
When I protect you, I have no emotions.
Right.
When I lead, I have no emotions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm doing it because you're my wife.
Yep.
I'm doing it because you're my child.
Yep.
I'm doing it because, you're my mama, you're my daddy.
Yep.
When it comes to love, I'm doing it out of love.
Oh, yeah.
But guess what? I'm not in love.
In love. So let me take it. Kiara is tracking with you, and she said, loving someone and being in love are two totally different things. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you how deep I go with this thing, and I'm going to round it out here by saying this. I don't know that I believe being in love is a requirement for a successful marriage.
Okay, explain.
When you are in a commitment with someone, you may not have the feelings of love, but if you are able to honestly analyze and say, okay, there are things that have happened that have kind of caused me to feel some kind of way about this person. There are things that have happened that caused this person to feel some kind of way about me. But as we move forward, going from this point forward, and what do you all think about this? Do you think it's required that you are in love to remain married? I don't. And what I'm saying is, once I determine that this person is willing to move forward with me, is willing to try to make a marriage work, we may not have the feelings of love, because I believe that those will come when you work with someone and that you see, or a better way of saying it, those could come when I see that this person is willing to move forward, when I see that this person is willing to invest in me. When I listen to all the people who are married, when I listen to all the people who have gone through years, 20 decades of being married, they fall out of love at some point. Tabitha Brown and her husband, we know Tabitha. She's one of the most famous vegans probably across the planet. We love Tabitha. Tabitha has been married over 20 years. And she said at some points, her and her husband, even though they look great together now and are in love, she said they would pass each other on the street and wouldn't speak to each other. You wouldn't know that they were together. So I believe every couple goes through that. I think the successful ones, and you'll always hear me say this, every couple, every relationship is going to come to a place of challenge. When you're working your way in any kind of relationship, you and I, it's going to come to a place of challenge.
Oh, we had our challenges.
We have had our challenges.
Yeah.
I know when he's mad at me. I know when he does,
and vice versa.
And he knows when I'm mad at him.
Yes.
I know when he doesn't want to deal with me. He knows when I don't want to deal with him.
Yep.
The successful ones, though, get to that place and say, let me step back and let me see, are we going to move forward? And then you know what? They're going to come to another place. Because I believe that, because guess what? you and I are, we don't require that I like Kesia or whatever. I know when I sit here, I know Joe is going to show up. Joe knows Kesia is going to show up.
Right.
Liking each other or whatever, that's not a requirement for what we do with handling business. Some of you all may disagree with me. I just believe when you get to this place, it is a matter of when you do what you need to do in that relationship, I believe those feelings can change. That's me.
I believe they can change.
Yes.
And I'm with you.
Yes. But
yeah, there's a budget. That's a conjunction I have here, because when you're in a relationship and things can change, you got to have two people that see the value in each other. You show up and I show up because we see the value in each other, right? And we look at the bigger purpose. And at some point, you'll be the bigger person and take the hit. Sometimes I'll be the bigger person and take the hit. Sometimes you be like, okay, whatever this is, this ain't gonna end what we're doing. Shut up, Joe. Let's do it. Or I'd be vice versa. I say the same thing to you. In marriage, because of where we are, I don't think there are a lot of men and women that want to go that 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years of turmoil.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And walk down the street and don't speak to your husband, walking through the house and not speaking to your husband. You know what I'm saying? For 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm unhappy now.
I've been there. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm unhappy now. I got to do something about this right now.
Yeah.
Because I deserve better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But is that true? Because when you look through the Bible, I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm a heathen. Okay.
You are not.
Okay. God's still working on my black ass. I tell you that all the time. But here's the thing, though. When you read the Bible, it was strife and then good. Right? All the stories come with, with a little bit of problem, or whatever stories may have been that you read, right?
Absolutely.
But then it comes where God comes through. And I've asked people these questions, right? Like when you married, are you willing to go through the tough times? And people always say, I deserve better. Says who?
Yeah.
Are you on your time of happiness, or are you on God's time for happiness?
That's a great
when
question.
you got married? Again, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but the way we claim to be about God, and God is, got me, and I'm a queen. But then when it comes to actually doing the work,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Because people are like, I don't deserve to be in this, but sometimes it may take you 4 years.
You're right. You're right.
To be in a marriage that don't work.
You're right.
We've heard the women talk about it.
Yeah.
It's far and in between that we hear these stories. We hear more of the other stories.
Yeah.
But it's far and in between. But we have heard women. Michelle Obama said, I didn't like Barack for 10 years.
Oh, okay? Lord.
But think about this though.
She said 10 years.
She said I didn't like him for 10 years. That was what she said on one of her interviews. It was 10 years.
Help me, Jesus.
Tabitha Brown said what she said, but these are just famous when we're using their name. But a lot of people have these things. So when you're married, do you always have to be happy?
No.
I'll
tell you no.
Right? And then even if it's not going anywhere in the first 2 years or 3 years,
absolutely.
Do you stay?
Absolutely. I'm tracking with you.
If it don't include infidelity. Now, infidelity, I think one of those things, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Or something, some criminal, but y'all just ain't vibing.
Yeah.
He ain't feeding you the way he needs to feed you. You ain't feeding the way you do. You walk away from that type. And this is when I say when you're not in love with somebody, you walk away.
Absolutely.
It's easy to walk away if you're not in love.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Because that's interesting.
Because if I love you, I can dump your ass in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think you can dump somebody in a heartbeat anyway. Because I think this sailor over here, he doesn't. So that's such a great point, because I spent time. I what you're saying, I did that. And when I tell you I was so open to the Spirit of God, everything in my flesh wanted to be done. Everything in my flesh, everything in my mind wanted to go. Up until the day of the court proceeding, I was like, God, everything I knew to do, I put space in between it. I remained open. I hoped until the day of the court proceeding. Okay, are we going to have a conversation? Are we going to reach out? Everything I could do within my hands. And so I'm tracking with you. The only reason I can say this is that I was open to that last minute, whatever. I made some missteps along the way. Don't get me wrong, but my posture up until the day that it inked was, what's your will? After that, when you get a divorce in Alabama,
you have 30 days or 60 days, something
it's
like that?
60 days.
Okay.
So even after that point,
Oh, wow.
I was still like, okay, God, my heart is open. If I've made a mistake,
Bless you.
excuse me, sinus. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Let me know. This is me. I might be wrong. This is me. If a spouse leaves you based on your behavior, if my spouse left me based on my behavior, I believe it would be incumbent upon me to make the changes or to do some things to show that person I've changed, or to do some things to put us in a position to lead toward change.
If you're that kind of person, yes.
If you're that kind of person.
Yeah, for sure.
So because I did not see that, it was going to be wasted effort and wasted time for me.
Gotcha.
So I could go back and think through, but one thing I can tell you I did do is my heart remained open to the Spirit of God, because I wanted the success story. And I knew of people who had 11th hour miracles.
Wow.
I knew of the people who things turned around once they got whatever.
Wow.
But there were some things that you deal with in marriage, and you have to draw a line. So on the one hand, I hear what you're saying about, people say, okay, for a couple of years, but you also have to determine, what does that look like? Is it at year 2? Is it at year 3? Is it at year 4? Is it at year 5?
But I heard you say something different though.
Okay.
You talked with God.
Oh yeah.
And you was waiting for signs.
Oh yeah.
Denzel Washington, he's on his tour now for the Gladiators 2. He's doing a lot of interviews. Very unusual for him, but he's doing a lot of interviews. And I like watching his interviews. And someone asked him, it was something that he was, I forget what he was talking about. It was about his career or retiring. I'm not for sure. Oh, he said God, he was praying. He was on a yacht, and he said he was in his time for prayer. And he said, God, I believe in you, and I would like to see your face. This was Denzel was saying, right? And he said something came to him and said, look to your left. He said he turned and he looked to his left, and he took a picture on his cell phone of what he saw. And when he showed the picture to the host of the show he was on that a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, it was a cloud. But in the cloud, you could see two eyes.
Wow.
And it looked like someone was smiling.
Wow.
There's a difference when you're in love and you're putting God into it.
Yeah.
Because when you ask for the right answer, you heard me say earlier, right? Is it on your time or is it on God's time?
I think that's so good.
Right. And so I don't think God wants you to stay in anything bad that's not good for you, but I do think you need to ask him permission.
That part.
Right.
That part.
Am I doing the right thing here? Is that hope?
Part.
And then listen and wait for the answer.
That part right there.
Because God is going to move things in your direction.
That
because
part.
I said this before in many of my shows, right? And I think I've said it here on this platform too. I prayed a prayer when I was married, but I didn't know what I was praying.
But we honor your effort. Praise the Lord.
You got to know how to pray, man.
That's true. That's true.
You got to know how to pray.
Yeah.
Because you can pray.
Yeah.
And what you pray for going to come true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to know exactly the best and the worst case scenario what you're asking for. No shit, y'all. It's truthful. I prayed to God. I said, God, remove everything and everybody from my life that don't need to be here. That was my prayer over and over to God.
Wow.
Remove everything and everybody from my life that don't need to be here, so I can be the person I need to be for you. That was my prayer. Sis, when I say God said, okay.
All righty. You asked for it.
Wife gone.
Mama.
Son gone.
Mama.
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 Daddy.
Mama.
Some friends.
Mama. Gone.
situations. And my mom and dad's not passed, so anybody know, but they're still living. But some situations happen where all of that blew up. Could have been my fault, could have been, but situations happen where everything blew up. I went through turmoil for a minute, right? I told God I wanted to be happy and successful. And now I am.
Yeah. Wow.
Be careful what you ask for, because the price that has to be paid is steep.
It is. It is.
Because if you ask me now, if I had known then what was going to happen, I would have took my prayer back.
Yeah.
Because I would have been afraid to lose that.
Oh, yeah.
It was the best thing for me and probably the best thing for them.
Yeah.
Now I see that on the other side.
Mm.
But at that moment, if I had known that was going to happen,
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have prayed that prayer.
No.
Mm.
The family, everybody, people close to
Gone.
me,
Blown up.
but he opened my eyes to a lot of stuff that was going on that I was a part. Everybody I'm talking about, so anybody watching this, had my wrong in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold myself 1,000% accountable for my wrongdoing.
Oh, yeah.
But God removed me from them too. You know what I'm
Right.
So
Right.
He did it for everybody. So I'm not saying that the people he took out of my life, they was 100% wrong on their own. No. Joe Lock is going to take full accountability for what he did wrong.
Absolutely.
But what I'm telling y'all is the story of know how to pray. I've learned now.
Be careful what you ask. Yeah.
This.
Be careful what you ask for and what you pray about.
I think about really
yeah.
when I ask God for things. So now what I ask God for now is let my cup overfloweth so I can feed others.
That's good.
Right.
That's good.
I stopped asking him to take stuff. Remove.
Seriously.
And I stopped asking to remove stuff.
Seriously,
right?
You have to be careful because go ahead.
No,
go
ahead.
Because I think about, and I will say this, and I will yield back to you. I look at the people who have the successful marriages.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what they went through.
No.
So before I go ask the Lord again for this successful marriage, okay. But do you know what that implies? I have this story of he's a pastor out of Florida, he and his wife, something in Tab. I forget his first name. I think it's Ken and Tab. And this story rings with me because she said for the first 2 years that she married him, you're speaking facts, previous relationship, the gentleman proposed. I asked God if he was my husband. The answer was no. I had to move along. That was Michelle Scott Shorts. That's good, Michelle. That's good. LOL. I got bit by a prayer also is what Kiara said.
So what now?
Kiara said I got bit by a prayer too. Kiara, I have too.
Listen. People talking about praying. Yo, man, praying is good if you know what
you're praying for.
You better know that you're praying for.
Know what you're praying for.
Because listen, God listens and he ain't present about none of your prayer. He ain't gonna decipher your prayer. He gonna hear your prayer. Let me say this one more time. He ain't gonna decipher. That's the bar. I'm gonna put that on the shirt. He ain't gonna decipher your prayer. He gonna hear your prayer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to answer. And you may not like how he answers.
Because I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I think we're probably that they've hung in here with us today, though. I tell you what,
appreciate y'all.
Thanks for tuning in today. I think about this pastor and his wife.
Right.
She married him, and she said for 2 years he didn't want to be married. She would get up and she would cook for him, and he I don't know if she said he would eat, but she's giving general detail. Who for 2 years? That tests me. But they're sitting on having a podcast, and he's like, "This is my best friend," and they're teaching other couples how to hang in there. Could I do that for 2 years? Fixing him breakfast, sitting down. He's not at home. He's not there. Could you do that for 2 years? I think of another young lady who said that she was married and her husband liked to go out to the club. And so what she did, I may have told you this story. She anointed she said the Lord told her to anoint his shoes, and she would anoint his shoes. He's now a pastor.
Oh, wow.
He used to go out and he told the story standing up. She didn't argue with him about going to the club. She didn't fuss about, well, you're not here with me and the kids. Nope. She just put oil in his shoes. And he said he went to the club one day and everything in the club was red. And he said, I got the heck out of there. Because what that said, I don't know if that said to him, hell, I mean, Hades or what it said to him, but that was it. She didn't have to open her mouth. But he did this over a period of time. He would get up and leave her and leave the kids there. She didn't argue with him. But they have a beautiful marriage now. He's a pastor. So the question I have, and I remember hearing that story while I was married. I remember another young lady saying something similar. And let me say this, and I'm going to conclude by saying this. Sometimes, even when you're in the marriage, the responsibility falls on the more spiritual person.
Yes, for sure.
Because God will oftentimes give you an instruction
Yeah.
that will not make sense, but he knows at the end of the day, he's got that person's salvation and he will turn his heart around. Because the Bible says that the heart of the king is in his hands and he turns it.
For sure.
The husbands are the leaders of the home, whether we like it or not. My sisters, I know we want to be whatever, but the Bible says that they are the head. God turns that, but we have to be obedient. And I often check myself, and it's going to be part of what I write about. I'm writing about this now because I want people to divorce and break up differently. If I had really paid attention to what they were doing, maybe that was something he was sharing with me for me to turn something around in my marriage. Because I don't get, because this is me, Joe. I don't think that we can rely just on emotions in marriage. I don't think we can rely on emotions or just the feeling of being in love. I think that because when I look at how serious it is, it's a covenant. It's a covenant, and covenants are not moved by my feelings.
And I truly believe that, if you're getting married or if you're married, you have to, as a man, look at more than just your role, which I never did.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw my wife, but I saw my wife. Men that hear that know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I never saw my wife, but I saw my wife. So I saw the woman I needed to lead and protect.
Yeah.
I didn't see the woman that needed me emotionally. I saw my wife, but I didn't see my wife. I saw my duty, but I didn't see her. When I married her, I saw my duty. I didn't see her.
How will that change? How will that be different next time?
Because I know it's there now. That's a part of being a husband, saying you're married now. When I got married,
emotional support for her.
Yes, I didn't know that was a part of it.
Are you willing to do that?
Yes. Yes.
A nephew is like, what's that, nephew? No.
Yes. I mean,
you don't know if you're willing to do that.
I would say now.
Ooh.
Because I'm older and more mature, and I know that the emotional part is part of my responsibility too.
Yeah.
Because what I and people say, Joe, you're stupid, but I would say what I looked at emotional support was me being the protector.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I combine all that together.
You're not alone, though. I think that's common.
I had to learn and understand that there are categories.
Yes.
In my role as a man to my wife.
Yes.
Right. And I remember one of the last things my ex said to me, you was a damn good father. Right? She said, but you wasn't a good husband.
Familiar words. I said that before too.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her at that time because I'm pissed.
Yeah, of course.
Number one, who you think you're talking to?
Of course.
And why you saying this to me, right? But when you sit back and when you're alone in that room, and sometimes you stare at the wall, and in the back of your mind, you hear your conscience call, right?
Hey, isn't that from a song?
It is. It is.
LL.
I swear he wear this song out.
Cool
he wear this song. This and Maya Angelou, he wear them out
all the time. Because
thank you for the heads up.
Hey, but because in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, because now I think about, right?
Yeah.
What she said.
Yeah.
I can be mad all day of actions, but every action is come from a reaction of the person.
Absolutely.
Most times in every relationship, when it's going bad, somebody's reacting to what somebody did.
Absolutely.
And it never got resolved.
Absolutely.
And that's why I take full responsibility and accountability, right, for what Joe Lockett did. And that's why I can't be mad at the way my situation ended up on anything in my life because I played a part in it, but it made me better. And I hope whoever not a part of my life anymore, wish them nothing but the best.
Absolutely.
Because I had
Absolutely.
to come to a understanding about what was good for me.
Yeah.
And ask for forgiveness. Let him do that and wish them the best.
Mm-hmm.
And never talk on their side. Let them tell their story. Because anybody ever who knows me, I don't talk about. I don't say nothing bad about the other side because that's their story to tell.
That's right.
I say what I did because I know I could have been better. Only thing I can work on from previous mistakes, like you said, you can't unscramble eggs, but I can scramble some new ones.
Yep.
And when I scramble these new ones, I can make them taste better.
Yep.
Right. That's what I do. So for the holidays, being lonely, nah. I find time to spend time with friends, but I would suggest a lot of folks, if you're going through a divorce or you're going through a breakup, spend time around people maybe that will not the people that love you, or spend time alone, because sometimes being alone give you a peace of mind to figure out what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of times when you're going through your first,
if
you get too involved in getting activities to keep you busy,
you don't deal with what you're with what's going on. You it's a cover.
And sometimes people don't want to sit with their wrongdoings.
So you are I just did a video. I do a show every day. I took a little bit of a different approach this week, and I just thought, let me do some videos instead of doing 45-minute shows. So I just giving you information in bite-sized pieces. That was basically my information last night to people, helping them deal with disappointment and basically sit with it and acknowledge it.
Yeah,
that's healing. And so I've been sitting with mine. I really haven't been out. I really hadn't been doing anything. I've been sitting for a year. I didn't really go on dates. But because I don't really believe in that when you're separated, I wanted to just close that chapter. But I have been sitting with it. And so perhaps that's why I have this peace. I didn't use another person to cover. I didn't use another person to disguise. I didn't use activity to disguise. I stay in a lot. I just kind of work on my things. So the peace that I have is genuine. The joy that I have is sincere. It's not manufactured or anything like that. People can be safe around me. I'm not looking to try to pounce on a man because I haven't been on a date in a while. I just haven't. I mean, it's genuine. And I thank God that he's allowed me to get to this point, and I'm grateful for it. I think we're wearing nephew out. Nephew's like, y'all, come on.
I'm hungry too.
I am hungry
y'all,
too.
Hey, we appreciate you guys, and we may look at doing this a little bit an hour later because it did work out a little bit better for us today.
I think so. Yeah.
So next week we may go ahead and do the show around 11 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock like we did.
Let's do it. Oh, and it'll be the holiday edition.
Yes, because that'd be the week before, the week after that's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, it'll be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving next week. Next week
do y'all want to do the show next week?
Do we want to do the show, nephew, or do we want to do a Thanksgiving break? Well, let's talk about it. We may want to do a Thanksgiving break and then come back into a full-fledged
new time
holiday, whatever.
Yeah, but we love y'all. To all our people 40 and 50, we got something coming up for you, an event that we're gonna be inviting y'all to, so y'all stay locked in for that. Hey man, y'all catch the Joe Locker show from 4 to 5, and then Kesia show right after that. You guys have a great afternoon. We'll talk to you guys soon. We love you.